Hey everyone, this is the weekly projection for January 7th through the 14th of 2019. I have not said 2018 yet, and I'm really proud of it. I'm probably going to say it probably 5 times in the reading because I acknowledged it, but we'll see. So, this is collective. Something resonates that is awesome. You can put it in the comments, reach out in personal message, find me on social platforms. Hey Danny. Or if something does not resonate, because that can happen. Well, no, it can or can't. But you can let it fall away, ask for clarification. Either way, you can still book your own personal reading, see where things are gonna go. I'm really sorry, I'm having a really hard time. It's not something I'm prepared to talk about, but I feel like I need to be open and honest with you. My lips are really dry and I can't find my chapstick. So I'm gonna be in discomfort for a bit. All right, what is up? We're gonna see. We're starting this reading off with Art Through the Starstream Oracle. Check it out. Beautiful artwork, very simplistic, very in-depth meaning, and a lot of light-hearted messages, and I'm really enjoying that. You know, I was saying in the last reading that I just did for tomorrow, the week leading up to New Year's, it was the heaviest energy. So now it's like a lot of messages, but it's all like uplifting, higher. Ooh, not too woozy, but I'm really mindful of that. I hate it when someone is giving a reading and it's like this really weird, oh, don't you dare, Danny. It's almost like airy-fairy type deal when someone's reading. I get it if that's how you read, that's perfectly fine, but I don't know, it doesn't click with me. Bro. All right, so what came out? We're looking at You Are Not Alone in the Universe. Fulfilling opportunities on the horizon. Look at the artwork on this. Then we have Dance Your Troubles Away. You know, they can dance if they want to. They can leave those friends behind, but friends don't dance, and if they dance, then they're no friends of mine. I'm a firm believer in that, and it's held true to this day. You are an oracle. And you are immortal. Make your decisions carefully. What you don't get right now, you have the opportunity to relearn. You're going through this amazing awakening. You are going to be doing a lot of unique things that you never thought you'd have the opportunity to do so. But you've said yes to change because you are saying yes to your finally your truth. You don't have to sing anyone's tune. You don't have to follow anyone as a leader. Follow yourself. March to the beat of your own drum. And some people get that wrong sometimes. It's not march to the beat of your own drummer. You're not doing that. You're marching to the beat of your own personal drum. What makes you go? And that is what you are following. So, the fact that you said yes, you're going through this awakening, it is uncomfortable, but you have to understand that you are setting and clearing the way for all these new circumstances to come into play, whether it is through finding people who actually suit your needs and suit your abilities, and you guys can build each other up. What? I missed something, Danny. I just got a heavy dude from you. What is up? So, okay, so you're not alone. You're getting all these new opportunities. You're not crazy for thinking that you're going through all this, because you are very actively and cognitively going through this. This is a conscious decision, but it comes with all these unique things. Hi, Kimberly. Everything is ascension right now. You made the decision and now you're going for it. The tree is coming out of the dirt, and while it's still this little type twig, it broke the surface. That is so important for you to know. So yes, make your decisions, because going through this whole ascension process, of course you're not going to get everything right off the bat, but you have to understand, if you don't get it right off the bat, then it's still perfectly fine, because life will circle around similar circumstances until a lesson is learned. And even if you don't get it in this life, you have the next one. I'm a firm believer in reincarnation, but you know, you do you. That's just what I believe. If something doesn't click into place with you, again, you can let it fall away, you can ask for clarification, and either way, you can still, you know, do the whole reaching out. Hey, Loyal to the Royal. This is the week projection. You missed the daily projection, and I gotta tell you, I feel hurt, confused, and alone by that. Now I'm glad that you're here, though. Guys, like every reading, every live reading I find, there's gonna be a few things going on. The reading, my ability to interact with this. I'll interact with you guys, and then there's going to be your own little world happening in the comments, and there's a few of the leprechaun septuplets. Chelsea already went to bed. She's the leprechaun countess. I say that because the whole Celtic thing. Yeah. And they're in Canada. I love them. All right, let's see what is up. Oh, God. This is feeling like emotional and psychological hoarding. No, don't fall. Oh, I fell. All right. So it turned out in reverse, and I'm just going to leave it because it was upright and then it went in reverse. So we are not asking any more questions. Let me tell you what. Come on. Ah. All right. This kind of reminds me of the Eddie Izzard joke. I used to say Eddie Izzard, but then I got schooled on the name. So now I say Eddie Izzard. But say however you want. Hi. Okay, what is this talking about? To be fair, all that glitters, why, round and round, all these are in reverse. Again, don't get hooked on the position of them. These are things to be mindful of, or actually they might have a better turn. It depends on how the story marries together. So getting in the flow state, you have to make sure that you are not mentally and emotionally, psychologically even, hoarding everything in its spot. Yes, it's a lesson learned. Yes, these are people who are navigating out of your life, but you can't hold them into place. What are you gonna do? All right, so if you are holding on to something, either using as a note in where you've come from or something to not cycle around, in that moment you are automatically recycling the same emotions by trying to spiritually bypass it. You got to really feel these things out and allow it this space to let go. You're holding on, and these become anchors, and these start physically manifesting on, in or on the body. It's the art of letting go, the art of being in the flow state, which means that things are going to flow through you. You have this inner net, your internet. That's actually a fun little quip that I just discovered. But you're going to catch what needs to be caught in those states. So if you have this wide open net, these little tidbits are going to flow right through it. It depends on how close together all these things are and how it is meant for you and what you are supposed to, catch. Because if it's something big, you're obviously going to need more surface area. And because, again, there's only so much space in your mind, heart, and spirit. Get the net. Do you remember that movie from like 1998? It had Sandra Bullock in it. It was called The Net. The whole fate of the world was, on a hard drive. That is so silly. I mean, it was great at the time because that's where technology was. But looking back, it's like, oh, man, $1 million. Yeah, Wayne's World. I loved Wayne's World. So, okay, you don't need to ask why. You don't need to keep questioning. This is really just you standing at the finish line. Just rip down the rope and go through it already. You completely got this. The mask is off. You see everything in its truth. So in seeing its truth and being aware of this situation, aware of what's going on, to still consciously choose it is, it really solidifies fault in it. And that's, it's not necessarily external. This is punishing yourself when the punishment is already over. You're still standing in the corner. You're free to go. You're free to actually go into the next room, go have a snack, go do the next best thing for yourself. So again, if you're making a conscious decision, then it is no longer external fault. And you can stop that in this moment and go do something completely new. That's what this entire thing was basing it off of. Go doing something new. Oh God, you remind me of my older brother. He's not my big brother anymore. He's just my older brother. But when you're a younger kid, or even if me and my brother are still in the same room for more than 5 minutes, we just start smacking each other. So he used to grab me by the arm. He used to hit me with my own arm, and I couldn't stop him. And that's what you're reminding me of right now. And that's truly what it's like. It's a sibling. It's this inner sibling fight. So, yeah, this is the conditions, the discomfort and comfortable conditions that you're breaking out of. And it's there. There's nothing holding you back. This is all psychological and mental, emotional. That is holding you back. It's no real substance that is holding you back. It's not like a sim character. So I hope that that made sense. I want to go with archetype now. 1010. Ooh, I don't know. Just 10s are finishing of cycles. I've seen that a lot. All right. We shall see. Don't get hooked on the names. Please don't get hooked on the names. What came out so far was slave and damsel. You're not Rapunzel. You're not in your ivory tower. You don't have to grow out your hair to that extent unless you want to. No one is forcing you to be or do any one thing. Owning your magic, owning your power, seeing life through fresh and innocent eyes, learning to heal that inner wounded child is going to be a huge thing for you. You need to be your own rescuer in this. All right, there are people who can help. There are people who certainly can reach out, but you have to do your work in this. And that could be as simple as getting adequate rest, doing those bodily cares. Make sure that your house is cleared out because you are getting ready for this amazing house party. And there are all these people who are amongst your soul tribe, your soul family. Everyone is getting ready to be invited to this amazing party. And there is so much that you have in store for yourself. It is this beautiful, vast platform that you are working with. And it is all because of everything that you have wanted, everything that you put into motion. It was all these this ownership for you. Ownership is a huge key word right now. You have actualized everything that you have internally wanted. And you have been put into a position that was so uncomfortable and that was so confining that you outgrew it and it had no other choice but to break. So this is emergence. So I hope that that made sense. What you need to be mindful of in this is to not give your power away or to take the power away from others in the same breath, because your empowerment does not have to be at the detriment of another person. That is something that a lot of people fall into, and everyone at some point is guilty of that. That's just part of life. But that is a learning process. So once you know something, there's no way that you can unknow it. It just becomes choice. And you can't use it as a crutch. And everyone is guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. Everyone. It's part of life. But again, mindfulness and moving forward. So you don't have to see things through rose-colored glasses. You can see the beauty in everything, but don't downplay a miracle. Don't downplay synchronicities. Show an appreciation for whenever they happen and acknowledge them. Yeah, emergence like a butterfly. I love that, Kimberly. So, okay, when you give notoriety to this sign or synchronicity or to the miracle, it is a form of gratitude, and life responds to it because it constantly mirrors the thought process of you, the genuine thought process, not the blanket of it. So the genuine acknowledgement of it is going to make way for life to reflect even more of that. It gets bigger, it gets better for you, and you have no idea how big you get to be. I mean that in the best possible way. I'm not saying that you will never know. It's going to be better than you expect. So, alliance to a destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusion, waiting for a night to provide for you, seduction by romantic illusion, and then giving your willpower to an external authority for fear of making your own choices. Again, this is blindly giving power to those who don't deserve it. No one gets to have your power. Your power is your power, and if you give that power to someone else, then you're not living your life. This is where you have already started living your life. So when you come across or when you get introduced to people who are going to be able to bring you up, make sure that it is authentic and from that pure expansion place. And if something doesn't click into place or it doesn't make sense or that is a tiny red flag, then that's something to be addressed. Yeah, in making a decision, you don't have to wait for another person to make it for you. That is the biggest keynote for that. So now I want to look at daily guidance from your angels. Hey, if you're just chiming in, say hello, let me know where you are in the world, even on the replay. It's all in the comments. Well, actually, I think this all ends up on the comments anyways. So, we'll see. What does daily guidance from the angels want to tell us? Come on. All right, I want this one. Still going through the detox. That's fun. I hate detox. Doesn't really matter what it's from. It's just, you never really know all the anchors you're hanging on to, or why we do the systematic things that we do, whether it's sticking to a routine so dogmatically that we don't know what, life outside of it, or, even just those either drugs, alcohol, any sort of addiction, anything that takes you away from your daily activities or alters you completely, but you can't prevent yourself, or you think you can't prevent yourself. Addiction, you know what addiction is. Okay, this I actually got earlier when I was doing a mini live for Zen Ed. This was, oh, that came out too. Jeez. All right, and you saw me shuffle on camera, so I don't want to hear it. Okay. Let's see. Detox. All right. This effect is going to be so soothing on you. This has almost a heart effect on it. It's a newfound love and appreciation for the purification, not only the process, but the finality of it, because you're obviously going to do this again. This happens through every new chapter, every new book. But this is going to be something different because this is more heartfelt and heart-centered for you. It obviously is going to align up with all the other chakras, but the main thing about this is acting from the purity of the heart. So in this, you're going to see all the errors, all the past mistakes, all the ways that someone could take advantage of you and get to the root of it. You're going to see it through all the phases of your life, and you're going to be able to address them as they come up, which is going to, if you allow yourself to feel it out for a final time, you'll be able to change the perception on it. And I was telling my friend last night, if you try and push it away, it's just going to come back in either another form, either physically manifest, or it's going to bubble up again in the same thought process, and it's going to be like you're reliving it. So as you're going through this purification process, again, it's not going to be easy, but when you address it and you try and get to the root of it and you try and see it through innocent eyes and see the core of the matter, then that'll alter your perception, and you don't have to be stuck in that mindset anymore. It's a real huge freedom, and it involves inner child wounds. Now, you could have had the best parents on the planet. You could have had terrible parents, guardians, whoever governed your safety. Or it could have been, just any childhood event, whatever your formative years were. What you are getting to the bottom of are these little blips of core wounds. So what happens when a wound is healed? It gets fresh skin, which is sensitive, but it is tough and it is thicker. It just needs time to get air. And that is what you're working on right now. And it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to communicate a lot in it and do it completely transparent. Be completely transparent with how you speak in this. All right? You don't need to hide any sort of emotion. There's nothing to be ashamed about. There was never anything to be ashamed about. You can be completely transparent and have it be safe. On the other side of this, when you get through that fear of transparency, there is so much joy, because the gravity of that danger illusion is just gone. So I hope that made sense. And now we're going to look at love. I'm a total sap. I love love. All the ways it expresses itself. I don't care if it's romantic. I don't care if it's platonic. Just love. I've always been that way. I'm going to speak to single and looking, reconciliation, and already established partnerships. And the first card that flew down was unrequited love. All the imbalances that led to the single and looking. there has to be a balance. I mean, because like I was saying earlier, like I say in every reading, life mirrors what goes on. The platonic crush. I think that was a band name in the 90s, Danny. I could be wrong, but if not, you should own it. Okay, so all those imbalances, they do mirror. Whether you give too much, someone's going to take too much. And if you take too much, someone's going to give too much till either party is depleted or whomever is in the partnership is depleted. And then there comes that retraction, the resentment, and then it's just wibble wobble everywhere until you have to actually pull away and find your equilibrium. So that is what you've been working on in your singlehood. The codependency, the need for someone to be there. You don't need for anyone to be there. This is a time to fall in love with yourself. You don't have to hang on to the yesteryears of the ex. You don't have to worry about them banging down your door, you know, demanding any sort of answer. I can hear my friends out there. It's actually really funny. Hey, Jean. I'm doing well. You? You missed the daily projection for Monday, but this is the weekly projection. If you're, well, I just did the single and looking. If you're looking at reconciliation, then there was a very clear imbalance, but reconciliation is possible. It does have the opportunity to come in this, well, if not this week, at least this month. I've seen so much in personal readings, so much in the collective readings, even today that I did. I didn't get to read everything that you wrote. It dissipated, but you can either put it in again or I can read it after. No biggie, but I've been reading all over the board reconciliations. Now this could be foreclosure or it can actually be because there's been mutual growth on both parts. But you cannot hold them to the old expectations of how the relationship ended and who they were, because even you've changed in the same time frame. So it's two different people meeting up, but you still have to talk about what happened. It was like it was clinging and that huge fear of there being an empty space and falling into that empty space and having nothing to catch you. That's what held it on too long. Your nearby enemy. I'm actually not doing personal projections at the end of the weekly, so hit me up in personal message. But all right, so stay optimistic. I know that you are thinking about them because they are thinking about you, and I know that you want to reconnect because they want to reconnect with you. But you have to lay down the weapons. You have to lay down the emotional weapons. And, well, let go of that need of urgency, because that is being mirrored. All right, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And you want to know what? The love is there. So I hope that that made sense. And if this is talking about already established partnerships, then you guys have to create that. The daily projections, I give personal projections at the end. This is a weekly projection, so it's, you know, for the collective for the 7th through the 14th. So if this is talking about already established partnerships, then you guys need to put in that space where you guys get to have your individual time, individual energies. Go have fun with your different friends. Go and treat yourself at a spa while someone else does something else or whatever. Just put in that space, all right? And you don't need to hold on to anything. This is you guys coming back together as individuals and reclaiming that balance. So I hope that that made sense. It's all about falling in love with yourself and having life mirror it. Yeah. Well, what you seek is seeking you. So make sure that you are healthy and knowing your value and worth without giving anyone discounts. Well, if it resonates with you, then it's meant for you, my love. So I'm glad that it resonated with you, and thank you for showing up again. I'm really glad to see you all here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Tuesday read. But until then, you can find me on social platforms, reach out in personal message, and stay safe, have fun. I love you all, and have a wonderful night or day, wonderful time. Bye.